All right, so today I'm gonna go over risk management with y'all. So risk management, protecting the capital, protecting your future. Hold on one second. So let's go over why most traders fail. Most traders fail because they're oversizing their positions, moving stop losses into random zones, random places, chasing losses, revenge trading, and ignoring risk. At the end of the day, bad risk management beats good analysis every time. So you can have pinpoint analysis and just manage the trade poorly, or manage your risk poorly, which results in overall loss. Same difference. Doesn't matter if you had a good analysis or not. So how do we correct this and manage our risks accordingly the right way? Golden rule, I would say, is always protect capital. As we say, no reason just donate into the market. Um, if you don't have any capital, you can't make any moves. Can't capitalize on any opportunities. So if you ever hear us say we're not gonna hop in today because of news or whatever it may be, we're pretty much saying we're gonna protect our capital and just wait and give ourselves the opportunity to win tomorrow. If we go in today and we take a bunch of losses, we're not in the position to take a trade or take a trade as we usually should tomorrow and capitalize on that. All we're going to be doing is scraping tooth and nail trying to get ourselves out of the hole we dug. So always remember, just protect capital. Same as we went over last week. Make sure you have some reasons for being in the trade. Don't just get in the trade because it looks good, or because you want to make money. A lot of the time, that's our reason for getting in trades. I showed up, I want the bread, so I'm gonna enter here, and it's gonna happen. If only trading was like that, we'd all be fucking millionaires. So 1 to 2% rule. That's just an easy way to keep yourself honest, with not oversizing, which we just talked about as a reason why people trade fail trades. 1 to 2% of your account. So if you're rocking on a $10,000 account, 1%, $100 loss. 2%, $200 loss. Self-explanatory. You can do the math on whatever your account size is. If you're rocking with a personal, you're rocking with the fundeds. Most people are on a 50K or 100K. So then you can do your losses off of there. On the funded, I would say still narrow it down a little bit closer than 1% of a 100K account. Risking 10K, that's wild. Um, I mean, or risking 1,000 on the trade. Um, Depending on your rules on your funded, I would say that's potentially negligent, but depends on the situation. That's why we always say if you're gonna up your sizing, scale up. So keep it at one, maybe 0.5%, walk it up so you have a little cushion, and then start risking a little bit more. How to determine your sizing? I would say your position sizing, it depends on your count size times the risk divided by stop loss distance. That's just a little equation, but overall you don't want to to be set by your emotions or your confidence. Like we said before, this looks good, so I'm gonna risk more. Make sure you can manage the risk or hold that drawdown. If this position were to go 100% wrong, are you done? So make sure you're not oversizing on your positions because your stop loss will be affected. That is essentially what you want to base your positioning sizing off of. Can I hold this trade if it goes the wrong way? Now let's talk about stop loss placement. We like to move our stops into profit. That's one way of mitigating risk. Just talking about putting it too close, you wanna you don't want to just put it at random numbers. You want to make sure you're putting it below structure, below current highs or lows, whatever way we're going. But that's what we'll be looking for when we're moving our stop loss. You always want to you always want to keep in mind where you're putting that. You're putting it at a valid spot where it's gonna give potential for give potential for continuation, or just be like your last line of defense. You don't want to just put it in the middle. You might as well just close the trade if you're gonna leave it in an in-between spot where they're just gonna come and get it. All right, risk to reward. We often say at least 1 to 2. 1 to 1s are trash. We're not doing that. 1 to 3 is what you want to be around. As you'll hear Mike say, the market likes to move in 1 to 3s waves. So you can hit a 1 to 3 trade easy. It's going for that 1 to 10 trades where you might be floating for a little bit, waiting on that to play out. But nonetheless, you want to be risking $100 with your take profit being $300 away. That's a 1 to 3 trade. Just making sure it's worth taking the trade and the risk that we are putting ourselves in front of. So, for example, how does this keep you in the game, keep you honest, right? So we're winning less, but we're making more. You don't need to have a huge high rate, win rate. I know profitable traders that are around 30 to 40% profitable. I mean, win rate, and they're still profitable. It's just because you need to know how to minimize risk, manage your risk. So just like we were saying, if we're giving an example off of a 1 to 3 risk to reward, they have a 40% win rate. They have 4 wins, $300, 1,200 overall. They took 6 losses, $600 losses equal minus 600. The end of the week plus 600. That's where you want to be at. Just making sure you're consistent across the board. And overall, like I said, that's just how you keep yourself honest. Protecting your capital during losing streaks. This is very important because they will come. It could just be a bad day in the market. But when do you say, hey, I'm just gonna live to trade another day, right? So set limits for yourself. That way you just have boundaries. Boundaries keep us safe. Rules keep us safe. So for instance, maximum 2 to 3 losses per day. That's valid. I have the same rule. I don't usually take losses, but if I take 2 to 3 in a row, I'm definitely going to sit myself down and say, hey, what are we doing here? because this is outside the norm. Maybe we're not seeing things right. Let's take a step back, regroup, reanalysis, and come back with a revised outlook on it and see if we didn't see something we were doing wrong. But nonetheless, having that in place, red flag, hey, I hit my quota for the day. Let me stop giving away money. Let me take a step back and like I said, regroup. Maximum daily drawdown. A lot of y'all are familiar with that. If y'all trading on Top Step, theirs is $1,000 on a 50K. And once you hit that, they ain't letting you trade no more for the day. But it kind of just tops you out, puts you in a timeout per se. So you can't blow your account. You're obviously going down the slippery slope, and they just stopped you from killing your account. But you still have to, if that happens, regroup, see what was going wrong, what did you what did you not see, and then come back better. But when you hit your limit, like I said, done. Just have that boundary. Hey, I'm done for the day. This isn't it. I'm not gonna blow the account. Um, live to trade another day. Tomorrow might be the textbook setup, and it's just no stress. Might as well wait for things of that nature. So a little risk management checklist. Is my risk defined? Is my stopped based on structure? Stop loss? Is my position size correct? Do you know what your stop loss is? How much you're risking? Are you at a minimum of a 1 to 2 risk to reward? And overall, are you following your trading plan? Just like the Confluence checklist, this is just a risk management checklist. You can start off with a checklist like this just to kind of build the routine and habit, but it should just be in your head every time. Hey, this is what I'm going through, and checking off in my head. If I have all those, let's take the trade. So traders mindset, professional traders, they're worried about the loss. That's all I worry about. Loss. How much can I lose with this trade? I'm always worried about loss. The minute I go green and we're risk-free trade, I'm in profit. It went to that next zone, so I'm going to move my stop loss up to the bottom of the previous zone. I'm in profit. I can't lose. Those are things you want to be thinking about. Then it becomes, how much can I make? You don't go into the trade saying, how much can I make? Because that's when you over leverage. You're in by way too heavy, and you didn't even think about the loss, right? I'm not gonna lose. I'm just thinking wins, right? It's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen, right? And then the loss comes, and you're like, dang, I'm severely oversized, and now you took a severe loss. So just things to think of when you're entering. Always think how much I'm going to lose first until we clear that zone and we're in profit. And then let's worry about how much we're going to make. And lastly, guys, just want to have a little homework for you guys. Um, just create your trade checklist, just like we went over previously. What are your risk management checklists? Create a checklist for yourself and make sure you find a couple setups that you got in and checked off all those boxes on your checklist, and just kind of create that routine of going through this before you enter your trades. Um, and kind of just keep a tally for this week. Try to make sure you're hitting all the boxes. You're not entering just because it looks good. Um, try to limit yourself to 3 to 5 trades a day. Risk 1%. Make sure your stop losses are below structure. You're not trailing too close, record all your trades in the journal, screenshot the setups. I like doing that. And then we'll review the results at the end of the week, next Saturday, see how everyone did. If anyone's having issues, we can just pinpoint what's happening through your checklist. I see, oh, I keep not checking off these boxes or whatever's going wrong. So we'll go from there and just see how those metrics come out. But at the end of the day, just make sure you have a winning process and the profits will come. So that's what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to hone in on the process, the overall process, and make sure you guys are in the best position to be profitable day in and day out with us. Anyone got any questions?
I got one. Um, buy stop sell limits. So let's just say I'm on micros, for example. When you're speaking about risk management, I guess knowing how much I'm gonna lose, how do you define that against people that place buy stops and sell limits at certain zones, knowing that they're going to add on the risk?
Mhm.
So in the beginning, I may say like, "Hey, I want to lose. I'm willing to lose 500," but then I got a buy stop that's going to hit. That's going to add on more. So that five in my micro now may be eight because it was a three, or
Mhm.
maybe it's one. Let's just say it's one. I guess my question is, even when I'm placing those, still be aware of the risk because it's all going to add together.
Yeah, definitely in that scenario. I don't usually add on, but it's to each his own how you want to trade. If I'm adding on, that usually means I was in a little early. I try I
Okay.
try to get in literally right at confirmation and then from there manage the trade. But it'd be the same thing if you're in early and just adding on the remainder at that confirmation.
Mhm.
Yeah, just knowing what that is. Hey, if you're adding on a 5 micro, what actually is that? Um,
Right. I've seen people add on, and I was just personally, I mean, I never really did that because I've always done a big enough lot size. I didn't need to add on.
Usually
But
it's a
just,
reverse. You go in heavier, let it clear, and then start taking off.
okay, that makes more sense.
But it just depends on how you're gonna trade it. You can finesse the markets a bunch of different ways. You know what I mean? You could
Mhm.
still add on and then have a zone $10 away where you're peeling off right back off the
Right,
five
right. Okay,
and then let it rock. So you could finesse it a lot of way.
okay, that makes more sense.
But yeah, I
Interesting.
think just the beginning trade, knowing how much you're risking, because a lot of people are going in a little heavier with that analysis that they're gonna pull off.
Right.
That's like the best case scenario, right?
Mhm.
If it goes wrong, do you realize how much you're risking? If I
Right.
say, hey, I'm gonna go up to a 10 micro and then I'm gonna peel off five once it's $5 in profit. So if it drops down $5, you realize how much you're risking. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
being aware of that. Because the minute you don't, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm down almost $1,000. It's like
Right.
a 10 micro.
Right. So
And
if
have to
anything, like take that profit, even because they might. I guess I've seen a move where someone placed um a buy stop somewhere else. It hit it, and then they scalped like one candle and then took it right back off again to the same number it was like at. So I'm guessing
Mhm.
they only did that to just scalp that candle or maybe just
So
get that. Yeah, okay.
just a little situational room,
Right.
situational move. But yeah.
Now I got a question. This is for anybody that's in the chat. I know there were some folk that wanted to trade with us, get set up, and just fully be tapped in. Is there anyone in the chat and channel that needs that help as of right now? Because tomorrow we start at 5 o'clock p.m. We give pre-analysis. We got a channel in there where we'll be able to see it. It's called Sunday Reviews in the Discord, and we all just post our analysis. Then we get in channel, compare them to see if we all have the same kind of intake, and then see which one is the strongest. But then also to look at other moves to see what else could be possibilities too. And after that, 6 o'clock, boom, market's open. So we be chilling for like one day, but then we right back at it. And that's why precision is on point the way it is, because we keep up with it. So I just want to point that out. I know there's some people I talked to in the conversations channel when we were first letting everyone know that we had class. So I'm just kind of giving that open floor. Because what I would love to see is a lot more people show up. I know Grooms has been popping up. I mean, it's the only way for y'all to really know what's going on, because there's other things that, we want to share, which is in real life plays where we could tell you like, hey, go get this bank, or hey, go do this and do that. But no one's there, for those moments. So we don't really know. And it's free game at the end of the day. We F's with y'all. I mean, we community. You feel what I'm saying? So it doesn't do no good if it's just one of us. If we all win in, it makes more sense. And I just want to vocally express that. Me and Dawkins was talking, so we just want to make sure y'all really get in the plays that we following up behind too.
Mhm.
So it doesn't make sense if we on the phone talking money and doing this, and we like, dang, like we got people over here that could be eating off of this too. You know what I'm saying? So I know Grooms has been popping in definitely during his Asia session in New York. Dawkins has been popping up during New York. Sundays we're all there. I've been sticking. I'm in a process right now. So I've been during London session. Um, I've been popping up like overnight. So during the day, I kind of need that day to do other stuff, sign other paperwork, and do some other in real life stuff. But I wanted to make sure this whole thing was covered by everybody. So there isn't a time after work. If you get off at night and you can wait a couple hours, get some food, you can stay up with me. If you get off at night, you need to wake up in the morning and you off next morning, get in with Dawkins and Mike. And if you work the mornings and you get off in the afternoon, Mike's on there and Asia session starts at 6 p.m. We did that because I always wanted a coach around. I had to adapt my timing to people. I had to adapt my timing to, my mentor at the time of when he only did his stuff. To me, I was like, man, if I had something, what would I do? I would make it so I would have something adaptable to every time zone for anybody. So there isn't no excuse for me as a person to be like, I can't show up. So I made it unexcusable. And basically, I like shifted the blame to you. So if you don't show up, it's whatever you got to do to shift it. But we left that open availability for everybody. So it's like, ooh, I get Asia, I get London, I get coaches all around. Yes, because we here to get this bag and run it up. So we all can be here 24/7.
But you
Because
gotta
I
show up.
gotta show up though.
Showing up's the first part.
100%. If you show up, we will lead you to the stuff. Simple as that. Because there's other plays we want to do with y'all. Once money starts really flowing, we can start talking crypto talk. You see social media, people talking about this is down, that's down. They don't know how the world moves like Dawkins. So we know some things that we can take this much, put it over here. But if you weren't around to do that, then you'll be trying to fight reality yourself, which I spoke about earlier. And then you're not even around the right people that can just get you out of that little pocket situation that you got. Because most of the time it's just money struggles. So, but you gotta show up.
The
Gotta,
base hits every day, but you gotta show up to the plate, hit the ball.
gotta show up. Gotta show up. I've had someone show up consistently to the point where I was down a moment. I even had someone look out for me. They end up like, yo, Ev, here, get that account. I'd return the favor back to someone else who was down at one point and was like, yo, here, get this account. Like, we're a community. At the end of the day, I want to see everybody eat. That's why my emotions came out the way it was, because we're all human. I don't see people, I don't see color, I don't see none of that. I see your spirit and who you are. So it's understanding that. It's like, yo, if I know I got the food, Dawkins got the food, it's like, yo, come get this plate, yo. Like, this ain't a plate where it's a buffet. It's like all food. I need you to pick up the plate and go around and start collecting the food so y'all can eat. And that way we not sitting around trying to figure out what's going on here and you fighting reality by yourself and you're stressed out.
Mhm.
It don't make no sense. You're only doing it to yourself. So you got to show up. Because then you get food like this where it's good risk management. You done made 800, 800, 800, 800. 8 times 4 is 32. So you already at 3,200 in 4 days, but you just bust your ass 80 hours to get
That
to
part.
to get the 1,800. And then they took about 500 from state taxes. Then they took another one. So you're stuck with maybe 1.2. Then you got to go ahead and pay the bill. That's not even enough for rent. Because now you got to double another 2 weeks just to go ahead and make up the difference for that. Because you still got electric and other shit. It doesn't make no sense. It makes zero sense. So I know you want time. I know you want time. And it's crazy. I sound like the little YouTubers that you used to say this stuff, but when you start really doing it and it happens, it's like, he wasn't
Mhm.
lying. He wasn't lying. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, dang. And it sounds so addy because of the way it comes across your phone, but it's the truth. It's the truth, y'all. But you gotta imagine it. So gotta imagine it, bro. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good rest of the week. We locked in 5 o'clock p.m. pre-market analysis. You'll see us in the Discord. Come in the family room. You know what I mean? Get y'all food. You know what I mean? Kick back. And we locked in. We ready for this joint. Check the fundamental channel because we're gonna be posting news if anything comes out between now and Sunday. We gotta keep on edge with it. We got some news that was recently posted Friday. Put that into the sentiment analysis of knowing whether or not we're in optimism or fear for whatever index we're dealing with. So that's important to know. Um, Put all that stuff together with your analysis. So therefore, when the snipe comes, boom, we just waiting for the setup. We don't even have to question it about what's going on.
Let's get it.
Let's
Everyone have a
go.
great Saturday. Catch
Yes,
y'all
sir.
tomorrow.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out, y'all.